Now back to Forever a Canuck. Proudly sponsored by BCAA, the official insurance agency of the Vancouver Canucks and Rogers Arena.
And then you got to be a Tiger.
Then I got
You played with some older kids when you were younger too, right? When you were just playing some pickup games or whatever, you would...
Yeah, I mean, I was a good player. I was a pretty good player. 11, 12 years old as a peewee, 13, 14 as a bantam. I was a good player. When I was 15, but I was just a good player among many good players. And when I was 15, I played major midget for the junior Tigers, as they were called. And I was actually listed by the Medicine Tigers when I was 12 years old, which was a huge honor. And that was pretty young. So they saw something in me, but there's tons of kids that were listed, and dropped and everything else. When I was 15 years old, I played for the junior Tigers and major midget, and that was a breakthrough year for me. I think that I was playing at a high level with older kids, 16, 17-year-old kids, and I was playing well, and I got called up right around Christmas time that year, and I played a couple games, and that was a dream come true for sure.
Were you physically and mentally ready, Trev? Because that's the big deal around that age. Some kids sprout, some kids don't. They might have all the skill, but they're just not emotionally ready, and certainly they're not physically ready. That was a nasty game. That was a nasty league.
Yeah,
it still is a tough league.
Yes, I think mentally and emotionally I was ready at 15. Now, I wasn't a full-time player. Physically, I was undersized, and I was a skinny little kid, right? But I'll never forget, I had an opportunity. I mean, when you're that age, you have lots of opportunity. There's a lot of major U.S. colleges and getting in contact with you, sending your letters and that sort of thing. And of course, my mom was kind of thinking, you should have a look at this, chance to go to Princeton or Ohio State or Michigan. And
did it intrigue you?
That didn't mean anything to me. I think growing up in Alberta, there was one thing on my mind, and that was to play for the Medicine Tigers.
You were going to the University of Medicine Hat.
I was going to the, and I look back and think, wow, what were you thinking? Not even to give that, some thought. But it's a funny. I was in the mall with my brother. I think we're buying a CD or something like that, and I think maybe a cassette tape, probably a cassette tape.
Record.
Yeah, record. Yeah, exactly. And my mom got a call from Russ Farwell, the GM of the Tigers, and they had some injuries, and it was like at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and she ran to the mall, and it was kind of early December, and tracked me down and said, Russ Farwell called. They want you to play tonight. And from that moment forward,
15?
15 years old, yeah. So that's when I played my first game for the Medicine Hat Tigers. Didn't play a lot, but from that point forward, once you play in the Western League, you lose your U.S. college eligibility.
Right.
And that year, I continued to play major midget, and I got called up periodically to the Tigers, and I played a lot in the playoffs that year, and kind of cut my teeth. I probably played 15 or 20 games that year for the big team, which was a huge thrill.
And you were in grade 9, grade 10?
I was in grade 10, yeah, young guy. Which, really interestingly enough, kind of set me up for the next year, but there was a significant amount of pressure in that next year.
Of course.
Now I'm 16 years old, and little hype, people are talking, and that sort of thing. So I had to deal with that.
Coming up on Forever a Canuck, welcome to the Dub.
Forever a Canuck. Brought to you in part by Hyatt Regency Vancouver. In the heart of it all, proud preferred hotel of the Vancouver Canucks.